Well, our last episode sprung a bad leak at the end, remember? For Maybe Dick, the whaling whale, passed over the sunken city of Submerbia and cracked its plastic dome. Now water is flooding into the city, and our friends are up to their necks in trouble.
Nonsense! I'm only up to my knees.
I'm up to my neck.
And I'm up to my second row of medals.
Then we gotta do something.
But what?
How about stuffing something in that hole?
Good idea.
Here, Captain, there's a cork in this bottle.
Great.
But Captain Peach Fuzz wasn't called wrong way for nothing. He threw away the cork and tried to hammer the bottle into the hole.
Hey, I got it. Let's put a bucket under it and catch the water.
What happens when it fills up?
You empty it out and put it... Oh, sorry, Captain.
That won't work either, Bullwinkle.
You know, gentlemen, I've just come to an interesting conclusion.
What's that?
We're all coming to an interesting conclusion, and pretty soon, too.
There must be an answer.
Yeah, if we just use our head bones.
Bullwinkle, that's it.
You said it!
No, you did.
I did. What?
Head bone. Use your head bone.
You gotta narrow that down a little. My head's all bone.
And a yard wide.
Sure it is. Bullwinkle, you can plug up the hole with your antlers.
Sure enough, through a coincidence that defied even the wildest stretch of the imagination, Bullwinkle's antler exactly fit the leak in the plastic dome.
Submerbia is saved.
I feel like what's-his-name at the dike.
Rocky, you're a squirrel of infinite mental rectitude.
He's pretty smart, too.
In a little while, Submerbia workmen were repairing the dome around Bullwinkle's antlers. And shortly thereafter, Mayor LaPompano was taking our heroes on a tour of the city.
And this is our main thoroughfare. We call it Shad Row.
Very interesting, Mayor LaPompano, but we've really got to get going.
Going? We just got here, Rock.
Bullwinkle, did you forget we're supposed to be hunting for Maybe Dick?
No, but I sure tried.
And a short time later, our friends were on board one of those small Submerbian underwater scooters, prepared to resume their search for the whaling whale, only this time with torpedoes instead of a fishpole.
Engine room, this is the captain.
Captain, this is the engine.
You mean you're the engineer?
I mean I'm the engine.
Well, full speed ahead, engine.
Aye, aye, sir.
And powered by Bullwinkle's mighty moose muscle, the strange craft moved through a Submerbian escape hatch and into the strange undersea world outside.
This is the life, eh, Rocky? We're as snug as a bug in a sub.
What do you see in the periscope, Captain?
It must be bust, Rocky. All I can see is my own eye.
Maybe it's just a reflection. Let me have a look.
But what Rocky saw made his fur stand on end.
That's an eye, all right, but it's not a reflection.
No?
My eyes are blue. That eye is brown.
You mean somebody's looking into our periscope?
Oh, boy, was somebody looking into their periscope.
Captain, it's Maybe Dick. He's right behind us.
All hands on deck. Look the bleep batten the button. Jettison the supercargo.
Why so many orders, Captain?
One of them's bound to be right.
Bullwinkle, let's get out of here.
Right, Rock.
And the mighty moose began to pedal faster and faster. Slowly, the tiny submarine drew away from the monster behind it, and it looked as if they might escape when suddenly...
I'll teach you, you whaling whale. Fire one.
But missing the torpedo lever entirely, Captain Peach Fuzz hit the reverse gear control. Instantly, the tiny sub was swallowed up by the cavernous mouth of Maybe Dick. Then, for the first time in history, Maybe Dick actually smiled. Assuming there is one. Don't miss our next episode, Follow the Swallow, or The Inside Story.
Once upon a time, there was a little girl who was called Red Riding Hood because because she was, that's why. Anyway, one day she was going through the woods to Grandma's house to sell her a membership in the PTA. As she went, she sang a song.
La 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 la.
That's not much of a song.
Well, I'm not much of a singer. La 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 la.
Now, although Red didn't know it, on the path up ahead, a wolf was waiting to
I hereby swear that I'll be good. I will not eat a Riding Hood.
Well, what's all this?
I just joined Riding Hoods Anonymous.
What?
I'm trying to kick the Riding Hood habit.
La 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 la
When you see a Riding Hood, greet her as a friend you should. Hello, Red Riding Hood! When you are misunderstood, extend your hand to Riding Hood. Put her there, pal! Now wait! Really, Red, I'm a new wolf. I sworn off Riding Hoods. See? Words of courage and hope to Riding Hood eaters.
Is this on the level, Wolf?
Sure! Listen here. Stick with your promise not to eat. Fight that urge for a Riding Hood treat.
If you're really my friend, you'll buy a PTA membership.
I'll take a dozen. I'll even deliver your basket for you. Where's it go?
To Grandma's. It's a basket full of goodies. I'm sorry about that. That was my special wolf basket. Here's another one.
Okay.
And the wolf set off towards Grandma's house.
I'm going to see your grandma. I'm going to see you.
But just then, a thought crossed his mind.
Let me see here. Just as I thought. Though Riding Hoods you may not munch, there's nothing wrong with a grandma lunch. Yeah. I'm going to eat the grandma. I'm going to eat the grandma.
But when Grandma heard the wolf coming,
Hey, you know what, Grandma? I'm going to eat you right after I give you this basket of goodies.
Young man, you dropped your basket. Well, isn't this interesting?
You ready for lunch now, Grandma?
Oh, but you've made a mistake. I'm not a grandma. I'm a Riding Hood. That's a grandma.
If you're a Riding Hood, where were your PTA tickets?
Riding Hoods don't sell PTA tickets. They sell DAR tickets.
DAR?
Yes, Daughters of American Riding Hoods.
They do?
How many?
I'll take a dozen.
Good.
Now to get that doggone grandma in the woods.
Fine. Here's a nice basket of goodies for her.
I'm going to eat the grandma. I'm going to eat the grandma. Hey, Grandma, you told me a fib.
I did.
Yeah, you want a Riding Hood? I just saw a real Riding Hood, and she sent you this basket of goodies.
Look, Wolf, right here in your own book, see? That's a grandma.
Grandmas, you can tell afar. They belong to DAR. Oh, darn her.
and the wolf sped back to Grandma's house.
Let's see now. When the grandmas claim their Riding Hoods, be a photographer in the woods.
Yes?
Good morning, madam. If you are a Riding Hood, you can have your picture taken with a real Shetland pony. Free.
Sorry, I'm a grandma.
I knew it. Your time is up.
You're right. Every second counts.
Yeah, it does.
You've got to get these dispatches to the front. You're the only one with a horse. Carry on.
Trust me, Colonel.
Did the wolf get here yet, Grandma?
Oh, he's been and gone 2 times, child. I just sent him off with a package of goodies.
Well, I guess he won't bother us anymore, and...
You know, I've decided to quit Riding Hoods Anonymous. I'm gonna eat both of you.
Now, remember, I pledge, I will not eat. One Riding Hood can spell defeat. Run! Every day in every way, I am not eating Riding Hoods. Run!
And Red Riding Hood and our grandmother dashed out of the house just one jump ahead of the wolf. Well, it looks as if nobody lives happily ever after.
I did.
You did.
Sure, I got to be a member of the PTA and a member of the DAR. And besides, I got these 200 baskets full of...
Yeah, goodies. Well, I was right. Nobody lived happily ever after.
Well, last time, you remember, our heroes were being pursued by the very thing they were out to capture, Maybe Dick the Wailing Whale. Bullwinkle did his best to pedal them to safety, and it looked for a while as if he would succeed. But then Captain Peachfuzz pulled the wrong lever and...
Isn't that typical of me, though?
You can stop pedaling now, Bullwinkle.
Yeah. Sure got late early, didn't it?
It's not late, Bullwinkle.
Well, then how come it's so dark like? Must be having an eclipse.
No, I don't know how to say this, Bullwinkle.
Well, try saying it in Czechoslovakian.
You can understand Czechoslovakian.
I'm always pretty good at picking up the Czech.
That's it, Bullwinkle. Go ahead and laugh.
Okay. Hey, that's pretty hollow laughter.
Light a light and you'll see why.
And in the glow of a candle, Bullwinkle did see why, for high above them arched the interior of Maybe Dick.
You mean we've been swallowed by Maybe Dick?
Looks like.
But just then our heroes heard a strange sound above them.
Good heavens, what's that?
Must be Maybe Dick's stomach rumbling.
Maybe something he ate disagreed with him.
Yeah, us. Hey, where's that noise coming from, Bullwinkle?
From the top of these stairs.
Stairs? Bullwinkle!
Certainly. See, they go right up stairs.
In a whale?
Maybe he's subletting to a flounder.
Hey, now, wait just a minute.
And grabbing a nearby wrench, the plucky squirrel reached over and tapped one of Maybe Dick's ribs.
You won't get anywhere tickling him, Rocky.
No, listen to that.
Sounds like an ordinary steel beam to me.
That's it. Maybe Dick is made out of steel.
Boy, he's tougher than I thought.
Don't you see? That means he isn't a whale at all. He's a ship. And I'll bet he's a pirate ship.
Right you are, little busybody.
And as our boys stared upward in terror, a menacing figure stalked to the top of the stairs. A menacing figure that somehow looked vaguely familiar.
Who are you?
Yeah, we know that, but what's your first name?
Allow me to introduce myself. Captain Horatio Hornswoggle at your service.
Captain Horatio Hornswoggle.
My card.
Haven't we met before, Captain Hornswoggle?
I doubt it, you swab.
I'm sure I've seen him somewhere, Bullwinkle.
I know where.
Where?
That patch on his eye reminded me. I saw his picture in a magazine. He was selling shirts.
No, that's somebody else.
All right, you sea cooks, come up those stairs with your hands up.
What are you going to do with us, Captain Hornswoggle?
Yes, as one captain to another, why are we here?
I just wanted somebody to play with Rollo.
Rollo?
Yes, he gets lonesome.
Well, we'll be glad to cheer up the little fella. Where is he?
Come on out, Rollo.
And around the corner came Rollo.
Yikes!
Rollo was not a little fella. He was a giant ape, 8 feet tall in his sneakers.
And he looks like 8 feet of pure mean.
I brought some people to play with Rollo last week, but they didn't work out.
What happened?
He broke them.
We're pretty bustable ourselves, you know.
No, I don't know, but I'll find out. Okay, Rollo.
And the huge monster lumbered nearer and nearer to our friends. Don't miss our next spine-tingling episode.
And that's my own personal spine he's talking about.
Playtime for Rollo or rest in pieces.
And now, here's Mr. Know-It-All to tell you how to conquer your acrophobia.
Thank you. The first thing to remember is that crabgrass is your friend.
Oh, no, Bullwinkle. Acrophobia is a fear of high places.
Oh, yeah. Thought it was crabgrass. First, the way to lose that heart-pounding fear is go to a high place and jump off. With a parachute, of course. Then, after the count of 3, you pull the ripcord. Which sometimes may not work, so you pull the emergency string. And thereby lose that old fear of falling. Next, we have the indoor fear that usually attacks the ceiling painter. The important thing is that you do not look down. Look to the side. Do not look up, for if you do, your fear of height will... Next, we have the fear of even lesser heights. When standing on stools, sometimes they teeter. That means you should place the stool on a softer surface where the legs will sink in a little, like this soft, mushy ground, for instance. See? No teetering.
Hey, Mr. Know-It-All, if you're telling us how to lose our fear of heights, why are you digging a hole?
'Cause a lot's happened to me, and I'm kind of scared to stand up there where you are.
Oh, well, you're not scared now, are you?
No, not as soon as I get my other shoe off. My heels are too high.
Hello out there. Peabody and Sherman here. How would you like a trip to the mountains, Sherman?
The Rockies, Mr. Peabody?
No, the Andes, to a tiny village high atop those lofty peaks called Cusco.
Who lived there?
The Incas, a tribe of noble Indians who ruled Peru centuries ago, set the Wayback Machine for the year 1532, and we shall be eyewitnesses when the Incas are conquered by that noted explorer and soldier, Francisco Pizarro. We enter the Wayback and were immediately hurtled back through time and space. In 1532, Cusco was nothing more than a small village, and a seemingly deserted village at that.
Where is everyone?
Before I could answer, we were ringed in by a cage of spears.
Make one false move and you goners.
One moment, Chief. I believe you're mistaking us for someone else.
You not Pizarro?
Right, I'm not Pizarro.
Little boy Pizarro?
No, I'm Sherman.
Then you must be Pizarro.
I'm your wife.
We were taken inside the chief's hut and given a tall, refreshing glass of llama milk. I must say, Chief, I'm quite surprised to see you only have 100 or 200 men in Cusco.
Most of Incas have gone to India.
India Incas, Mr. Peabody?
Drink your milk, Sherman.
We hear 'em rumor that Francisco Pizarro is on way up here to conquer us.
I'm afraid you're right, Chief. It's in history that way.
Well, we got 'em planned for Pizarro. When he get 'em here, we're gonna let 'em have it.
But you can't. According to history books, Pizarro conquered you.
Then we make 'em liar out of books.
We gotta warn Mr. Pizarro, Mr. Peabody.
I heartily agree, my boy. Well, it was the custom of the Incas to dally away their afternoons playing mahjong, and while they were so occupied, Sherman and I took the opportunity of leaving. We were almost out of the village when who should appear but Francisco Pizarro and 2 lieutenants.
In the name of His Majesty, I claim this village as mine.
What you gonna name this place, Francisco?
I gonna name it after me. Let me see. The soil here is sandy. That's it. I gonna call it Sandy Francisco.
Crazy.
Senor Pizarro, I don't know whether you're aware of this or not, but 200 Incas are waiting to ambush you.
Oh, don't be silly. Most of the Incas are over in India. And if this little boy make that bad gag again, I gonna throw him over the cliff.
Try as I may, I couldn't convince the great explorer that he was walking into a trap. In fact, you can imagine my consternation when Pizarro and his men suddenly curled up in the very heart of the city.
It's time for a nap.
Well, naturally, the mahjong tournament had to break up sometime, and...
Oh, my gosh! Here comes the chief and his men.
It was too late to awaken Pizarro, so we did the next best thing. We disguised him.
What is it you got there?
These are llamas.
I never see llamas like that before.
Well, these are from Tibet. They're high llamas.
These look like llamas to you?
Not to me.
Me neither.
What they look like to you?
Donkeys.
Unfortunately, Pizarro was a man who required very little sleep, for he chose that moment to crawl out from under the skins.
It is donkey.
No, it is a man.
In the name of His Majesty, you are all under arrest.
But needless to say, this didn't meet with the chief's approval. It wasn't long before Pizarro, his men, and Sherman and I were facing a firing squad of spear throwers.
You can't do this to me. I am only an observer from the UN.
You are Pizarro, and you and your fellow conquerors shall perish.
Golly, Mr. Peabody, they're gonna throw spears at us.
You mean they'll try to throw them, Sherman?
Spear throwers, get ready. Get set. Aim, fire!
With all their might, the firing squad tossed their spears. However, halfway to the targets, the spears suddenly slowed to a slow drift and practically crept toward us.
It's magic.
No, atmosphere. You see, up here at 20,000 feet, things don't behave in the general manner, and those spears lose all their resiliency at this altitude. Here they come now. It was a simple task to catch the spears and send them back where they came from. Of course, even though they returned just as slowly as they came, they nonetheless managed to pin each and every Inca facing us, including the chief.
We give 'em up! You conquer us!
Well, that did it, Mr. Peabody. Now maybe everyone can live in peace together.
Only time will decide that. My, this is a glorious view up here.
I'll say, the Andes are really something to see.
So are those mountains just across the way, Sherman. Those are called the Amos Mountains. They're brothers to the Andes.
I never heard of them.
You never heard of the Amos and Andes?
Well, the secret is out. Maybe Dick, the mysterious whaling whale, is nothing more or less than an enormous pirate ship run by that prince of schnooks, Boris Baden.
Please, Captain Horatio Hornswoggle.
Yes, the secret is out, but our heroes are inside Maybe Dick.
Sounds like a good name for a book.
What's more, in our last episode, they received a pressing invitation to play patty cake with Rollo, an 8-foot ape.
Rollo likes to play with people. They bend so easy.
There must be some mistake. I'm not a people. I'm more of a moose.
And I'm a squirrel.
You're a people.
I've been thinking of resigning.
Okay, come on, Rollo. I'll play with you.
Rocky, you flipped your goggles.
He'll crush you like an egg, Rocky.
Maybe not. Come on, Rollo.
That's right. Get it over with quick.
But as Rollo's huge paws reached for Rocky, the agile squirrel zoomed away from his grasp.
You can't catch me.
Rocky, this is no time to play tag.
Along the high platform, the giant ape blundered, following after the elusive Rocky.
Come on, Rocky.
Come on, Rollo.
Then at the end of the platform, Rocky suddenly zoomed into the air, and as Rollo reached up for him, he went over the railing and into the bilge water below.
Now, Bullwinkle, run for it.
The moose grabbed Captain Peach Fuzz and dashed through a doorway behind the pirate.
But you won't get away, squirrel.
Sure enough, Boris aimed one of his flintlock pistols and fired, nearly missing our hero.
Next time for sure, kiddo.
And Boris drew a bead on the frantically flying squirrel. It looked hopeless, but just then the first bullet that Boris had fired struck a steel beam, angled off, and headed back for him.
Yikes!
Pursued closely by his own bullet, the buccaneer had only one course open.
Look out, Rollo!
Golly, that means we've won. We're in command of the Maybe Dick.
And in a little while, Rocky and his friends were in the wheelhouse high in the superstructure of Maybe Dick.
Now that things have slowed down a little, maybe you'll tell me something, Rock.
What's that?
What the ding-dong is going on anyway?
It's all right here in this log, Bullwinkle. Listen. Dear log, today decided to become a pirate. What
an idea. I can see it now. First, I built huge boat shaped like whale. Then I christened it with bottle of prussic acid. I named thee Maybe Dick. Then I install crazy whistle that goes. I adopt Rollo to help with the business. Then when ship comes along, I blow whistle. Ship stops. I open front of Maybe Dick, swallow whole ship. Rollo and I rob everybody. Money, gold, jewels. Afterward, I let ship sail out again. Halfway. No ship, no evidence, just loot. Loot! Then that miserable squirrel has to come and ruins everything.
Calm down, Boris, darling. Your neck is turning purple again.
Natasha, I've lied, cheated, stolen, double-crossed.
Yes, Boris.
Tell me, where did I go wrong?
Meanwhile, up on the bridge, our hero was jubilant.
That's Rocky.
Rocky. Little did he know that at that moment, not too far away, a squadron of land-based bomber planes was heading his way. Their mission, destroy Maybe Dick. Don't miss our next episode, A Whale of a Tale, or There She Blows Up.